Formidable means something very menacing, very redoubtable. Forsake means to desert or abandon, renounce something. Forswear means to renounce or abandon. Forte means a strong point or special talent. Forthright means a person who is straightforward, direct and frank. Fortitude means bravery and courage. Wherever you find the word fort, F-O-R-T, it has something to do with bravery, courage and patience. Fortuitous is accidental, by chance. Foster means to encourage. Founder means to sink or fail completely. A founder also is a person who establishes something. Fracas means a brawl or a melee, M-E-L-E-E, which means a free for all. That means everyone is fighting everyone else. There is no order. And synonyms for fracas can be Donnybrook, D-O-N-N-Y-B-R-O-O-K, or a spat, S-P-A-T. Fractious means unruly. Frail means weak. Franchise means right granted by authority, right to vote. Frantic means wild. Fraudulent is cheating and deceitful. Fraught, something is fraught with difficulties, means filled, full of. Fray means a brawl. Frenetic or frantic, both mean the same. Frenzied and wild, nervously overexcited. Frenzied is madly excited. Fresco is a painting, especially on plaster which is still wet. You will find fresco paintings in certain temples and churches. Fret means to be annoyed or vexed or worry over something. Friction means clash in opinion. Frieze, F-R-I-E-Z-E, is an ornamental band on a wall. It is a term from architecture. And friezes are also any ornamental band on furniture, that is on top or at the bottom, any place. That's called a frieze. Frigid means intensely cold. Frigid also means unresponsive. A frigid woman is unresponsive. So the antonym for frigid can be responsive. Fritter means to waste, frittering your money away. Frivolous means lacking in seriousness and self-indulgently carefree. And synonyms can be flippant, F-L-I-P-P-A-N-T, and levity, L-E-V-I-T-Y, which means playfulness, lacking seriousness. Frond, F-R-O-N-D. Frond means a fern leaf. Fern is the name of a plant. The leaf is called a frond. Leaf of palm or banana is also called a frond. Frolicsome. Frolic means to play. Frolicsome means sportive, prankish, gay, and generally romping about. Fructify means to bear fruit. Your efforts will fructify if you listen to these words. Frugality means thrift and economy. Fruition means bearing fruit or fulfillment, realization of something. Frustrate means to thwart or defeat, obstruct somebody's attempts to do something. Fugitive means a person who is fleeting, running away, who's running away from the law. Fugitive also means something that is very transitory. And roving, R-O-V-I-N-G, which means wandering. Fulcrum means a support. Fulminate means to thunder and explode, especially in anger. Fulsome means disgustingly excessive. Fulsome praise is excessive and insincere praise. Functionary means an official. Fundamental means basic. Funereal means sad and solemn. Furore means a frenzy and great excitement. Furtive movements are stealthy and sneaky, secretly. Fusillade means barrage or cannonade, C-A-N-N-O-N-A-D-E, barrage, B-A-R-R-A-G-E, volley, V-O-L-L-E-Y, or salvo, S-A-L-V-O. All these mean simultaneous firing or outburst. Another synonym is broadside, B-R-O-A-D-S-I-D-E. Broadside means firing of all the guns on one side of a ship. It can also mean a scathing attack, a very severely critical attack on somebody in writing. Fusion means unison or coalition. Futile means useless, hopeless, ineffectual. A gadfly is an irritating person. It is also a fly that bites animals. Gaffe, G-A-F-F-E, means a social blunder. Gainsay means to deny. Gait is the way in which you walk, the manner of walking. Galaxy is a large isolated system of stars. Gale means a windstorm or a gust of wind. Emotional outburst can also be called gale. Gall, bitterness. Gall, gall means nerve or bitterness. When you have the gall to say something, that means you have the cheek to say something. Cheek is a synonym, which means arrogance and nerve, effrontery. Gall also means bitterness. Gall, to gall somebody would mean to annoy and chafe also, to irritate. Their taunts galled him, that means irritated him. A taunt is a mocking statement. Galleon is a large sailing ship. It is no longer currently used, it's an outdated one. Galvanize means to stimulate by shock or stir up and revitalize, put into action. A gambit is an opening move in chess. Gambol means to romp, skip about, leap playfully, and prance, P-R-A-N-C-E, frisk, F-R-I-S-K. Gamely means in a spirited manner with courage. A gamut is an entire range or a panoply, P-A-N-O-P-L-Y, which means an array, A-R-R-A-Y, a series. Gape means to open widely. A gape means to watch with mouth wide open. Garbled messages are mixed up and jumbled and distorted, difficult to comprehend. Gargantuan means something that is huge and enormous. A gargoyle is a waterspout carved in grotesque figures on a building. It is a fountain basically. Garish means something that is over bright in color, gaudy, tawdry, T-A-W-D-R-Y, and distasteful. So the antonym for garish can be tasteful, T-A-S-T-E-F-U-L. Garner means to gather or store up something. Garnish means to decorate. Garrulous people are loquacious, wordy, and talkative. Gastronomy is the science of preparing and serving good food. Gauche means clumsy. Gaucherie means an act of clumsiness. Gaudy is synonymous with garish, flashy, showy, and tawdry. Gaunt means lean and angular, barren, meaning frail and weak and very thin, reedy. Gaunt also means barren. Gavel is a hammer made from wood. It is also called a mallet, M-A-L-L-E-T, used by a judge in a courtroom. Gawk, G-A-W-K, means to stare stupidly or foolishly and look with an open-mouthed expression of awe. Gazette means an official periodical publication of the government. Genealogy means record of descent or lineage. Consanguinity or family tree. Generality means a vague statement. Generate means to cause produce. Generic means characteristic of an entire class or species. The antonym for generic should be specific. Genesis means the beginning or origin of something, the provenance, P-R-O-V-E-N-A-N-C-E. Geniality means cheerfulness or kindliness and sympathy. Genre, G-E-N-R-E, means a particular variety of art or literature, a class. Genteel means well-bred, elegant, and sophisticated. Antonym can be uncouth, boorish, and churlish. Gentility, that means those of gentle birth, refinement, and nobility. Gentry means the landed or propertied class just below the nobility, the rich people. Genuflect means to bend the knee as in worship. Germane means something that is pertinent and relevant, apropos and appropriate. Germinal means pertaining to the germ or creative. A synonym can be seminal, S-E-M-I-N-A-L. Seminal also means authoritative and original. Germinate means to cause to sprout or sprout itself. Gerontocracy means government ruled by old people. Gerrymander means change voting district lines in order to favor a political party. Gestate means to evolve, as in prenatal growth. It is something like the incubation period, the gestation period. Gesticulation means motion or gesture, especially of the arms in a very wild manner. Ghastly means something that is heinous and horrible. Gibberish is nonsense. An ape will gibber. Jibe means to mock. Giddy means dizzy or light-hearted. Giddy with happiness. Gingerly means very careful. Girth means the distance around something, the circumference or the length of the waist. Gist means the essence of something. Glacial means pertaining to a glacier, which is very cold. The slowly moving body of ice. Glaring means highly conspicuous, harshly bright, flagrant, and egregious. Glaze means to cover with a thin and shiny surface. Glean means to gather leavings. Leavings are leftovers. Glean means to gather in small quantity. Glib means fluent, facile and slick, smooth. Glimmer means shine erratically or twinkle. Gloat means to express evil self-satisfaction or gloating over one's wealth or past achievements. Gloss over means to explain something away. No matter how hard he tried to talk around the issue, he could not gloss over the fact that he had raised a bigger problem. Glossary is an explanation of words at the end of a textbook or a book. Glossy means smooth and shining. The antonym can be matte, M-A-T-T or M-A-T-T-E. Matte means a surface which is not shining. Glower means a scowl, S-C-O-W-L, which means glare or stare angrily at someone. Glut means to fill to excess or overstock. Glutinous is something that is sticky and viscous. Glutton is someone who eats too much, voracious and edacious, E-D-A-C-I-O-U-S. Gnarled means twisted. Snarled also means twisted. Gnarling and snarling would also mean an expression of anger, especially what you would notice from a dog, which is likely to attack you. Gnome is a dwarf or an underground spirit. In mythology, gnomes were considered the special guardians and inhabitants of subterranean mines. Goad means to urge on or prod somebody. Gorge means a narrow canyon, a steep rocky cleft. The Grand Canyon is a gorge. There are several gorges in the Grand Canyon. Besides that, gorge would also means to overeat, stuff oneself with food. Gory means something that is ghastly and bloody, carnage, C-A-R-N-A-G-E, lot of butchery. Gossamer means sheer like cobwebs and very flimsy, filmy, F-I-L-M-Y. Gouge means to scoop out or tear out. Gouge also means to overcharge. Synonyms for overcharging are fleece, F-L-E-E-C-E. Prohibitive pricing means excessive, exorbitant pricing. Something prohibitive is very highly overcharged. Gourmand means an epicure or a person who takes excessive pleasure in food and drink. Whereas a gourmet, G-O-U-R-M-E-T, the T is silent. A gourmet is a connoisseur of food and drink. He is an expert. He has a discerning knowledge. Graduated means arranged by degrees of difficulty. A granary is a storehouse. An example of a granary is a silo, S-I-L-O, which is an underground storehouse for grain. Grandeur means impressiveness or something that is stately and majestic. Grandiloquent means pompous and bombastic, using high-sounding language. Grandiose means pretentious, high-flown and ridiculously exaggerated. Granulate means form into grains. Graphic means pertaining to the art of delineating or something that is clearly described and outlined. Grapple means to wrestle with somebody, come to grips with. Grappling, the wrestlers do grappling. Grappling with a problem. Grate means to make a harsh noise, have an unpleasant effect. Gratify means to please. Gratis means anything given free. Gratuitous means given freely, or gratuitous insults are unwarranted and unjustified and uncalled for. So the antonym for gratuitous can be, taking the first meaning, which is given freely, the antonym can be priced or charged. And the second meaning, if you take it into consideration, the antonym for gratuitous should be justified or warranted. Gratuity means a tip. Gravity means seriousness. Grave means serious. Gregarious means sociable. An antonym for gregarious will be recluse or reclusive. Anchorite, A-N-C-H-O-R-I-T-E, or an eremite, E-R-E-M-I-T-E, is a person who is a hermit, H-E-R-M-I-T, who stays aloof. Grievance means a cause of complaint. Grill means to question severely. A grill is also used to make pizzas and toasts. It is synonymous with salamander, S-A-L-A-M-A-N-D-E-R. A salamander is similar to a grill. It is used to make pizzas and toasts. It's a kind of an oven, top fired. In the sense, the heat comes from the top. Now an oven is enclosed and a grill and salamander are usually open. Now a salamander has other meanings. Salamander means a mythical monster, a monster. Salamander also is a kind of lizard, a small lizard which is known for its ability to run swiftly on water. Can you believe it? On water, using its tail as a rudder. R-U-D-D-E-R. Grimace. G-R-I-M-A-C-E. Grimace is a facial distortion to show feelings such as pain and disgust. Grisly means ghastly. Grotesque means something which is comically hideous and fantastic. Grotto is a small cavern, a small cave. Grouse means a complaint or a fuss. Grovel means to crawl or creep on the ground, remain prostrate, and be toady, T-O-A-D-Y, sycophantic. Grudging means unwilling, reluctant, or stingy. A grudging concession is a reluctant concession. Gruel means a thin porridge. Grueling means exhausting. A grueling task is an exhausting, laborious task. Gruesome means grisly, horrible, or hideous and ghastly. Gruff means rough-mannered. Guffaw means a boisterous laughter which is very loud. Guile means deceit and duplicity. Wiliness, cunning. Guileless means without deceit. Guise means appearance or costume. Gull means to trick or hoodwink and deceive. Gull is also a noun which means a person who is very gullible. Gullible means easily deceived. A gustatory, something gustatory affects the sense of taste. Gusto means enjoyment and enthusiasm. Gusty means windy. Guy, G-U-Y, is a cable or chain attached to something that needs to be braced or steadied. Guy means a thick rope. Gyroscope is an apparatus used to maintain balance or ascertain direction in aeroplanes and ships. Habituate means accustom or familiarize, become au fait, A-U-F-A-I-T, that means conversant. Hackles means hairs on the back and neck. Raising the hackles would mean create a situation where people will fight. Hackneyed means commonplace and trite. Haggard means wasted away, gaunt and weak. Haggle means argue about the prices. Halcyon period of time means calm and peaceful. Hale and hearty. Hale means healthy. Hallowed ground, hallowed place it simply means something that is blessed and consecrated and sacred. Hallucinations are a kind of delusion when you see something that has no existence. Halting means hesitant and faltering. Hampering something would mean to obstruct and hinder. Hamper taken as a noun would mean a basket or a bag. New Year hampers and gift hampers. Hap means chance and luck. Hapless means luckless or unfortunate. Haphazard means random and by chance. Hapless means unfortunate. Harangue. Harangue means a long, passionate and vehement speech full of abuses, a tirade or an invective. Harass means to annoy by repeated attacks. Harbinger is a forerunner, somebody who announces the arrival. Harbor means provide a refuge for or hide. Hardy means sturdy and robust. Harping means continuously dwelling on a particular subject, repeatedly saying the same thing. Harrowing, a harrowing time, that means agonizing and distressing. Harry the enemy, that means harass and annoy, torment and raid continuously. Hatching a plan would mean unfolding a plan, but hatch also means a door. The door of an aircraft is called a hatch. Haughtiness means pride and arrogance. A haven, a safe haven, would mean a place of safety, refuge, sanctuary. Hazardous substances are dangerous to health. Hazy, when the horizon is hazy, that means it is obscure slightly and it's difficult to see through. Headlong, when you get headlong into something, that means you are rash and hasty. Some people are headstrong, that means stubborn, willful and unyielding. A heckler is a person who verbally harasses the speaker, raises questions and noisily interrupts. Hedonist is a person who believes that pleasure is the ultimate good. He seeks pleasure all the time. Heedless means not noticing or disregarding good advice, not abiding. Hegemony is dominance. Heinous crimes are atrocious and hatefully bad. Herbivorous animals eat grass. Heresy means an opinion contrary to popular belief. Hermetic means sealed by fusion. Hermetic also means obscure and mysterious, occult. Hermitage is the home of a hermit. Herpetologist is one who studies reptiles. Heterodox philosophies are unorthodox and unconventional. The antonym for heterodox will be orthodox. Heterogeneous are dissimilar, mixed. Hewing down a tree would mean cut it down with an axe or a sword. Heydays means the time of greatest success or prime time. In his heyday, Kapil Dev was a terror as a batsman. Hiatus means a gap or a pause, a lull in the activity. Hibernal means pertaining to winter. Hibernation is an activity that animals like polar bear do. For months together they sleep and there is no metabolic activity. Hierarchy is an arrangement by rank or standing. Hieroglyphic, Hieroglyphic. Glyph means a picture. Hieroglyphs are picture writing. It is actually the ancient script of the Egyptians. Hilarity means boisterous mirth and laughter. Hindmost means something that is farthest behind, at the back. Hindrance is a block or an obstacle. Hinterlands means the back country. The antonym will be coastland. Hireling means one who works for hire. Hirsute means hairy. Histrionics means theatrical, the art of acting. Hoard means to stockpile and accumulate secretly. Hoary means white with age. A hoax is a trick. A holocaust is a destruction by a massive fire. Holster is a case for a pistol, just as a scabbard is a sheath for a sword. Homage means honor or tribute. Homeostasis is the tendency of a system to maintain balance and stability. Homespun wisdom means domestic, made at home. Homogeneous is the antonym for heterogeneous, which means homogeneous means of the same kind. Honing a blade means sharpening it. Whetting it, W-H-E-T. Hoodwink is to deceive and delude and cheat. A horde is a large crowd. Hortatory means encouraging and exhortive, urging somebody. Horticulture pertaining to cultivation of fruits. Hostility is unfriendliness. Hovel is a shack, H-O-V-E-L. It means a hut, a small wretched house. Hover about something, that means hang over it. Hover also would mean not able to take a decision. So antonym for hover can be decide. Hubbub means a noise, confused uproar. Hubris means arrogance and pride. A hue is a color or an aspect of something. Hue and cry is a big outcry. Humane means marked by kindness and consideration. Humdrum affairs are dull and monotonous. Something humid is damp. Humility means humbleness of the spirit. A hummock is a small hill. Humus means substance formed by decaying vegetable matter. Hurtle means to crash and rush down the hill. Husband means using. Means to use economically. Husbanding your resources would mean using them very sparingly and economically. Husbandry, therefore, would mean thrift and living frugally. It would also mean agriculture. Hybrid means a mongrel or of a mixed breed. Hydrophobia is fear of water. Hyperbole means an exaggeration or an overstatement. The antonym is understatement. A synonym for understatement is litote, L-I-T-O-T-E. Hypercritical. Hypercritical would mean excessively demanding or exacting. Hypochondriac is a person who is unduly worried about his health. The synonym is valetudinarian, V-A-L-E-T-U-D-I-N-A-R-I-A-N. Hypocritical means pretending to be virtuous or more morally evolved than others. Synonyms are holier than thou, pontifical, sententious, moralizing, pharisaical, P-H-A-R-I-S-A-I-C-A-L. All these words would mean a person who tries to pretend as if he is more religiously evolved and moralistic. So hypocrisy is that. Hypothetical means something that is based on assumptions. Ichthyology, I-C-H-T-H-Y-O-L-O-G-Y. Ichthyology is the study of fish. Icon means a religious image or an idol. Iconoclastic means attacking cherished traditions. Ideology is a system of ideas characteristic of a group or a culture. Idiom is an expression whose meaning as a whole differs from the meaning of its individual words. An idiom is a distinctive style. Idiomatic means peculiar. Idiosyncrasy is an individual trait, usually odd in nature. It is a kind of eccentricity. Everyone has his own idiosyncrasies. Idolatry means worship of idols, excessive admiration. Idyllic means blissful, halcyon, Halcyon, and charmingly carefree and simple. Idyllic life of the villages. Igneous rocks are produced from volcanic lava, produced by fire. Ignite means to kindle or light. Ignoble means unworthy, not noble. Ignominy means deep disgrace, shame, or dishonor. Illicit means something that is illegal. Licit is legal. Illimitable means something that cannot be limited, therefore infinite or infinite. Illuminate means to brighten. An illusion is a misleading vision. Illusive means something deceiving. Illusory is also deceptive. Imbalance means lack of balance. Imbecile means moron, M-O-R-O-N, or an idiot. Imbecility means weakness of mind. Imbibe means to drink in. Imbroglio, I-M-B-R-O-G-L-I-O. The G is silent here. An imbroglio is a complicated situation, a state of utter confusion. Imbue means to saturate or fill up with something. Immaculate means spotless, flawless. Imminent means near at hand, impending, likely to happen immediately. Immobility would mean state of being immovable. Immolate means offer a sacrifice, burn oneself down. Immune means resistant to. The antonym is susceptible or vulnerable. Immure means to imprison, because mure means a wall. Immurement means imprisonment. Murals are wall paintings. Intramural activities in a college, that means within the four walls. Extramural are games and all that which are played outside the four walls. Immutable means something that is unchangeable. Mutation means change. Impair means to injure, hurt, or damage. Impale means to pierce, stab, or transfix. Transfix. Impalpable means something that cannot be touched, intangible, imperceptible. Palpate means to touch. So impalpable means something that cannot be touched. Impartial means not biased. Impassable means something that is not able to be traveled or crossed. Impasse, I-M-P-A-S-S-E. Impasse means a situation where there is no progress. A deadlock or a stalemate is called an impasse. Impassive means without feeling. Impeach means to charge with crime in office. Indict, I-N-D-I-C-T, is a synonym for impeach. Impeccable means faultless. Pecca means a fault. Therefore, peccadillo means a minor fault. Impeccable is flawless or faultless. Impecunious means without money. Pecunious having to do with money. Impede means hinder or block. Impediment is a stumbling block or a hindrance. When you impel someone, that means you are driving or forcing forward or onward. Impending, that means appearing, nearing, likely to happen immediately. Impenetrable, something which cannot be pierced or entered. Impenitent means not repentant, a person who is not feeling guilty for whatever he did. Imperative means an order, absolutely necessary. Imperceptible, something that cannot be noticed. Imperial, like an emperor, like a king. Imperious also means domineering, haughty. Now imperial is like a king. Imperious is domineering and haughty. Impermeable means impervious. That means not permitting passage. Impertinent means insolent and rude. Imperturbable. Perturb means disturb. So imperturbable means calm and placid, impassive, unruffled. Impervious is impenetrable, incapable of being damaged or distressed. Impetuous means violent, hasty, and rash. Impetus means a moving force, an incentive or a stimulus. Impiety means irreverence, lack of respect for God. Impinge means to infringe, touch, trespass or violate, collide with something. Impious statements are irreverent. Implacable people are those who are difficult to be pacified. You cannot pacify these people. Implausible means unbelievable, because plausible means believable. Implement means to put into effect, supply with tools. Implicate, when you implicate someone in something, it means you are trying to incriminate him, show or display that he is also involved in an act of crime. Implication is something hinted or suggested. Implicit means something that is understood but not stated. The antonym for implicit is explicit, which means clearly stated. Implode means to burst inwards. Imply means to suggest. Impolitic means not wise, not shrewd, because politic means very shrewd and expedient, which means advantageous. Imponderables are those which are difficult to calculate or think about. They are weightless. Import, the import of my sentence means the significance or the meaning. Importunate people are always demanding and urging, continuously requesting. Importune means to beg persistently or continuously. Imposture means assuming a false identity, a masquerade. masquerade. Masquerade would mean two things. One is a ballroom dance where people wear masks and come, and otherwise it is a sham, a fake appearance. Impotent means weak. Imprecations are curses. Impregnable fortress means something that is invulnerable. invulnerable, something that cannot be broken down or attacked or pierced. Impromptu means without previous preparation, ad lib. Impropriety means improperness of behavior or unsuitableness for indecorous. Improvident means thriftless. Provident means saving or thrifty. Improvise means compose on the spur of the moment. That means change something on the spur of the moment, that is spontaneously. Imprudent means lacking caution, injudicious, lacking, presence of mind. Impudence means impertinence and insolence, arrogance. Impugn means to call into question, dispute or contradict. Impuissance is powerlessness, because puissance means powerfulness. Impunity, people are breaking the law with impunity, means freedom from punishment or harm. Impute means to attribute or ascribe. Inadvertently means unintentionally. Inalienable rights, fundamental rights are inalienable. That means they cannot be taken away or non-transferable. Inviolable. Inane means senseless. Inanimate means lifeless. Inarticulate is a person who is speechless or who cannot talk very well. Inaugurate means to begin formally. Incandescent is something that's strikingly bright, like a star that is glowing and burning. Incantation is singing or chanting, like a bhajan. Or magic spells are also called incantations. Incapacitate means to disable. Incarcerate means to imprison. Incarnate means endowed with flesh, personified, because karna means flesh. Carnal, sense pleasures. Incarnadine means something that is red in color. Carnation is a red colored flower. Incarnation means act of assuming a human body. Incendiary means a person who sets things on fire. An arsonist. Incendiary speeches are those which inflame the passions of the public. A rabble rouser is likely to be an incendiary. Incense means to enrage or infuriate or make very angry. Incentive means something that is a motive or a spur or something that encourages somebody to do something. Inception means the beginning. Incessant rainfall is uninterrupted. Inchoate means something that is rudimentary, elementary, and recently begun, not fully developed, underdeveloped. Incidence means the rate of occurrence. Particular occurrence is also called an incidence. Incidental means not essential, minor. Incidental expenses. Major expenses, incidental expenses. Major is the antonym. Incipient means beginning. Something that is still in its early stage. An incipient cold or a disease. Incisive means cutting, sharp, incisive remarks. Incite means to arouse to action, goad, motivate, induce. Inclement weather is stormy, unkind. Incline means slope or slant. Inclined, some people are inclined to be skeptical. Skeptical, that means doubting. Inclined means tending or leaning, bent. Inclusive. Inclusive means tending to include all. Incognito. Moving incognito means with an assumed identity or name or with identity concealed. Incoherent means unintelligible, muddled, illogical and difficult to understand. Incommodious means not spacious. Incommodious quarters or rooms are not spacious, inconvenient. Incompatible, something which is incompatible is lacking in harmony, it does not match. Incongruity is the same as that because incongruity means absurdity or lack of harmony. Inconsequential means something that is insignificant and unimportant. Inconsistency means a state of being self-contradictory, lacking in uniformity or steadiness. Incontinent means lacking self-restraint or being licentious, that means very lustful. Incontrovertible, the evidence is incontrovertible, means indisputable, that means something which cannot be questioned. Incorporate means to introduce something into a larger whole. Incorporeal means lacking a material bodies, therefore it means spiritual. It can also mean insubstantial. Incorporeal beings are ghosts, or rather the other way around. Ghosts are incorporeal beings. Incorrigible people cannot be corrected. Incredulity means tendency to disbelieve. Incredulous means skeptical, withholding belief, not believing. Credulous means gullible, easily believing. Increment means increase. Incriminate means accuse. Antonym for incriminate is extenuate. extenuate means free from blame. Incrustation means hard coating or crust on top. Incubating eggs means hatching or planning or scheming. Incubus means a nightmare, a very horrifying dream. Incubus also means a burden or mental care. The incubus of financial worry helped bring on her nervous breakdown. That means a burden, mental care, the nightmare. Incubus also means a spirit that fornicates, F-O-R-N-I-C-A-T, have sexual relationship with women who are sleeping. A succubus, on the other hand, is exact opposite. S-U-C-C-U-B-U-S is a female spirit who has sexual intercourse with men who are sleeping. Inculcate means to teach. Incumbent means obligatory, or incumbent also means currently the person who is holding office. The antonym for incumbent, because Vajpayee is the incumbent prime minister, so his predecessor was so and his successor who knows who will be. And incumbent is also, like we said, obligatory. It is incumbent on you to listen to these words carefully so that you can deal with other sections of GRE very well in a much more confident manner. Incur means to bring upon oneself. Incursion is a temporary invasion, a foray, F-O-R-A-Y, or an irruption, I-R-R-U-P-T-I-O-N. An irruption is a stronger word because irruption means a violent entry or an attack. An incursion is a temporary invasion. Indefatigable means a person who can never be fatigued, therefore tireless. Indelible impressions are those that cannot be erased. Indemnify means to insure, make secure against loss, compensate for the loss. Indentation means a notch or a deep recess. An indentation means something like a groove. Indenture means bind a servant or apprentice. Indentured labor means bonded labor, bound. Indeterminate means uncertain, unspecified, not clearly fixed. Indicative means suggestive. Indices means the signs or indications. Indite means to charge, I-N-D-I-C-T. I-N-D-I-T-E means to compose in words. Indite, both are pronounced indite. Indifferent means unmoved or unconcerned. Indigence means poverty. Indigenous means native. The antonym is exotic, E-X-O-T-I-C, which means foreign or rare. Indigent means poor and destitute rather. Indignation means anger because you have been subjected to some kind of injustice. That means you feel that your dignity has been offended. Therefore, the word is indignation. Indignity means offensive or insulting treatment, which is below your dignity. Indiscriminate means random, choosing at random. Antonym for indiscriminate will be specific. Indisputable, something which is very certain or something that cannot be questioned. Indissoluble means permanent. Marriage is considered an indissoluble bond in certain religions. Indite means to write or compose. Kalidasa indited several poems or several dramas. Indolent means very lazy. Indomitable means something that cannot be dominated. An indomitable spirit means unconquerable, unyielding. Indubitable, that means something that cannot be doubted or unquestioned, because dubitable means doubtful, indubitable therefore cannot be doubted. Induce means to bring about, persuade. Inductive, pertaining to induction or the proceeding from the specific to the general. Inductive logic, from the specific to the general. That means take one, observe one phenomena and generalize about the whole lot. And deductive is the opposite. Observe the whole lot and make a conclusion, draw a conclusion about a specific thing. Indulgent means humoring, yielding and lenient. An indulgent parent. Industrious means diligent, hardworking. Inebriated condition means totally drunk, intoxicated. Ineffable, certain things are ineffable. That means they cannot be described or they are unutterable, cannot be expressed in words. Ineffectual, the medicine was, which means it was not effective, weak. Inelectable, an inelectable disease. I mean, in the sense, a disease which cannot be avoided. If you continuously drink, liver damage is inelectable, irresistible, cannot be escaped from. Inept means lacking skill, unsuited or incompetent. Iniquity means gross injustice or unfairness. Inerrancy, error means to make a mistake. So inerrancy means infallibility. Inert means inactive, passive. The antonym is dynamic. Inevitable consequences are unavoidable. Inexorable, somebody who is inexorable is a person who is unyielding and relentless. And implacable, that means a person who is not willing to listen, who will not change his mind. Infallible means unerring. Infamous means notoriously bad. Infantile means like a child. Infer means to deduce or conclude. A possible antonym for infer can be imply, I-M-P-L-Y, which means to hint or suggest. Infernal means to pertaining to hell. Infernal means hell. Hellish or devilish. Infidel means an unbeliever. Infiltrate means to pass into or through something. Penetrate, sneakily. Across the border, there are many terrorists who are infiltrating into Kashmir. Slowly and sneakily, secretly entering enemy territory. Infinitesimal means very small. Infirmity means weakness. Infirm means weak. Therefore, a hospital can also be called an infirmary. I-N-F-I-R-M-A-R-Y, infirmary. Inflated means exaggerated or pompous, enlarged. Turgid, T-U-R-G-I-D, which means swollen. An influx is a flowing into, influx of refugees. An antonym can be diaspora, which means an exodus or a migration, going away. Infraction means a violation of a rule. Infringe means to violate, encroach, trespass or transgress. Ingenious devices are cleverly made and resourcefully made. Ingenuous, on the other hand, means naive and trusting, young, unsophisticated and gullible. Ingenue means the role of a rustic girl played by an actress. For example, in Sholay it was Hema Malini. Ingenue, I-N-G-E-N-U-E. Ingrained means deeply established, firmly rooted. Ingrate means an ungrateful person. Ingratiate means to become popular with somebody. With ingratiating manners, you can become very popular with people. Inherent means within, firmly established in the nature. Inhibit means to restrain, retard or prevent something. People who are inhibited can never reveal their feelings. They keep suppressing their feelings. They are introverted. Inimical means unfriendly, hostile, harmful and detrimental. Inimitable style means something that cannot be copied, matchless, cannot be imitated. Iniquitous means wicked, immoral, unrighteous, or unjust, grossly. Initiate means to begin something. Injurious things are harmful to health. An inkling of something means having a hint of something. Antonym can be certitude, CERTITUD, which means a guarantee. A cinch, CINCH, means a guarantee. Inch by inch, life is a cinch. Yard by yard, life is hard. Anyway, innate means something that is inborn. Innocuous means harmless.